Hi, my name's Jaspreet.
My name is Manvi,
My name is Simran.
and today we're going to be doing a case analysis of Beyond the Classroom.
So Beyond the Classroom is one of the first in-home tutoring organizations in Canada and was established by Kathy Thompson in 1988. The organization operates as a one-on-one tutoring structure and builds its reputation by prioritizing its students' cognitive developmental needs. Beyond the Classroom provides tutoring for children from grades JK to 12 on all subjects primarily held in school. It currently has various franchises all across Ontario, but because of the growth, it's facing issues with the tutors, students, and franchisees. These problems arise once Kathy shifted her learning model to online due to the pandemic. These issues include being unable to communicate effectively with tutors and franchisees, not using all of a tutor's skills or resources available, and the discomfort employees and students may feel with using an online learning platform. Lack of communication is one of the first many issues that Beyond the Classroom is facing, and this is because there's no shared medium for communicating. Currently, Kathy and other franchise owners use email to communicate, but it doesn't seem the most effective. Many new tutors have insisted to communicate via text because it's more convenient, but the current franchise owners don't know how to communicate in a way that messages aren't missed and that it could be effective. So Beyond the Classroom needs to find a way to communicate without it being messy, overpowering the original message trying to be sent, and that it is convenient for everybody involved.
Another key issue BTC faces is utilizing their tutors' skills and resources effectively during tutoring sessions. Kathy Thompson states that she wants to create a strategy that allows her team to understand what each tutor brings to the table to measure their involvement in a broader context at BTC. Currently, tutors cannot integrate their ideas into their work, causing them to feel less connected to the job and unable to show their unique teaching methods. Kathy and her team do not have a system to evaluate tutors' values or show their appreciation.
Beyond the Classroom also struggles to relieve any discomfort tutors and students feel with online tutoring and in-person tutoring. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on Beyond the Classroom's tutoring process, as they had to shift their model entirely to online. Online tutoring is a very new concept to some tutors, and they do not feel easy to use online software. According to Kathy, some tutors are not very tech savvy and are intimidated by technology, hence the avoidance. Also, some tutors simply do not want to teach online as they feel more skilled with in-person tutoring. Kathy states some of the longer-term tutors have decided not to teach online as they want to teach at home and in-person only. Another problem caused by the pandemic is that tutors feel uncomfortable going into the homes of the kids that they teach. The fear, however, is very justifiable as given conditions. It is essential to take necessary precautions and to remain safe. So next, we're going to be talking about the behavioral effects on the organization. The first element is communication. Communication is when information is exchanged between a sender and a receiver, which is a practice that is analyzed to improve Beyond the Classroom's process. The main style of communication that is used at Beyond the Classroom is downward communication. So this is when orders from upper level are communicated to the lower level staff. For example, when Kathy and her other franchisees send updates to tutors, the organization shows signs that they would like to move towards upwards communication. Kathy stated that she wants to provide opportunities for the tutors to give feedback on the organization. A method that Beyond the Classroom can implement to increase communication is to create a safe environment where everyone feels free to express their opinions. Many organizations encourage employees to use their voice and express their opinions about the company's processes. Beyond the Classroom needs to encourage the franchisees to use their voice to bring in new ideas and new change.
Another element of analysis is organizational culture, which is known as the shared beliefs, values, and assumptions that exist in an organization, which then determine the norms that develop and the patterns of behavior that emerge. So Beyond the Classroom's philosophy is putting the child at the center to understand their development needs and base the teaching style off of that. The company also prides itself on the flexibility and relationship building, which are needed to create a comfortable environment for the student. To uphold these cultural values and tutoring facility, Beyond the Classroom must create a process that allows tutors to utilize all their skills and resources, but it is not currently possible as it is challenging to manage and observe. Currently, the cultural norm is with online in-home learning and communicating through email. However, both of these norms are unreasonable due to the current organizational climate. Online learning must become the new norm from Beyond the Classroom, and the communication platform must be adjusted to become more efficient.
Motivation is defined as the extent to which persistent effort is directed toward a goal. Currently, BTC lacks extrinsic motivation for its tutors, meaning it does not reward tutors for or inspire them to work harder. A lack of tutor motivation results in low outputs as they cannot determine if they're on the right track with their teaching methods, and because of that, they do not try their best since there's no incentive. Currently, BTC uses motivation through the learning theory of partial reinforcement, which means reinforcing a person's behavior every once in a while. This theory involves a partial ratio reinforcement, as a number of responses must occur before another reinforcement is given, whether it is fixed or a variable. Partial reinforcement is helpful since there is a reasonable time lapse where Kathy can observe tutors' behaviors before providing a reinforcement.
So job satisfaction refers to the collection of attitudes that people have about their jobs, and an attitude is the individual's belief formed through their perspective and their values. So once within an organization, employees may measure their job satisfaction through something called discrepancy, which is how a person perceives that a job has what they want, the more satisfied they are. Satisfaction measured by discrepancy will differ within each employee, but it must be observed to prevent things like turnover or absenteeism. Absenteeism refers to individuals being absent from work for long periods of times without a valid explanation. This can become a more evident issue at beyond the classroom because the tutors don't have anything to motivate them or to recognize their efforts. In an extreme case, this can lead to turnover where employees leave the establishment altogether and look for another job. However, this can also be influenced by economical factors as seen in the diagram on this slide. There's very outside influences that can affect somebody to have turnover.
Next, we're going to talk about the recommendations to the key issues. So first, Beyond the Classroom should consider a follow-up system for better communication. A follow-up system will allow Kathy to not only ensure that she is on the same page as her employees through confirmation. Usually, Kathy cannot confirm whether her employees have received or understood the updates that she sends out. She stated that one of the challenges she faces when managing people is ensuring that the franchisees are reading the important updates from head office and replying in a timely manner. A follow-up system will allow employees to fill out a form to confirm that they received the information and to provide feedback. However, the downside to using a follow-up system is that it can be a complicated and messy process. Sending forms to confirm receiving an update is an overall lengthy process, as Kathy will need to sit down and manually jot down the information she receives. Essentially, the process does not provide as many benefits to Beyond the Classroom, and emailing seems a simpler option.
The second alternative to BTC's issues is that it can enforce a reward system. Rewarding the best tutor for each location would make the tutors feel appreciated and dedicated to doing better. Kathy could give incentives to tutors to use their own teaching style and skills when working with the students. The reward system can be hosted every month, and a winner can be determined by asking students to answer a survey and determine which tutor performed the best. These rewards could include bonuses, praise, promotions to provide eccentric motivation for BTC employees. However, the downside to the reward system is that it could disencourage other tutors and pit them against each other. This connects to equity theory, as tutors can compare their efforts and outcomes against other tutors. If tutors are over-rewarded, it could decrease their productivity because they feel like they're already doing enough. However, unrewarded tutors may also decrease productivity because they think they are not recognized enough.
So another alternative to these issues that BTC is facing is that they can develop a workshop for franchisees, tutors, and students to attend. These workshops will eliminate communication errors while providing an ease of comfort and understanding of the virtual platform known as Lesson Space. So Kathy Thompson mentioned that overall there's no issues with Lesson Space and that there are operational guidelines available on its website. However, for parents uncomfortable with online tutoring, a coaching workshop will help display its benefits. These workshops should be live to create an interactive coaching process, but only should be conducted once a month to prevent wasting any resources of the organization. The tutors can also use Learning Space to introduce unique teaching styles they have, because the franchisees will be able to oversee whatever new method they wish to use. A con to hosting regular interactive workshops, however, is that it addresses the concern, it becomes very time consuming and redundant. There's no guarantees that these workshops will actually persuade people, and it may just end up increasing their discomfort altogether.
So this is a chart of analysis of alternatives. It shows how each alternative given can get rid of key issues BTC faces. So for example, for alternative one, it's a follow-up system, and it shows that it could create an effective communication strategy as well as ease discomfort in tutoring and in-home and online. However, it does not utilize tutor skills and resources effectively. And then for recognition system and workshops, for both of them, it's not effective as there's no communication strategy. However, it does help utilize tutor skills and resources effectively, as well as ease discomfort in tutoring and in-home online.
So instead of doing a follow-up system, which can be messy and complicated, Kathy can send her employees text updates using a messaging system. Kathy stated that many of her newer tutors coming in prefer to communicate via text. These text updates can include a reminder to respond to an important email or an issue requiring immediate attention. Text updates are a great way to communicate as it's quick, convenient, and it allows Kathy to send mass texts. In today's day and age, everyone has their phones with them at all times. If a tutor does not have their email account linked to their phone, the text updates are a great way to stay up to date with all the things going on in the organization. A messaging system will increase motivation with employees as they will feel more involved in the decision-making process. Organizations that implement the feedback of their employees strive as they're willing to grow and accept change. Incorporating a messaging system will also increase upward communication as ideas and suggestions will travel up the chain of command. There will be improved communication between the franchisees and tutors, and there will be a quick way to respond to each other's concerns.
The best way to do a reward system is to use it for recognition over material benefit. Kathy can create an award for the most improved tutor and student for each location, focusing more on the output than a particular trait. We simply rejected the reward system of bonuses given to one location because it would demotivate others by shining a light on a certain locations, as Kathy has stated. This award could be laminated paper stating most improved tutor award, for example, so members feel supported for their work. Most improved awards are better than best tutor student awards because having the term best can demotivate the other parties. One of awarding the most improved students, their tutors can be recognized too, even if that specific tutor did not get the prize. This is because the student's tutor will know that the teaching methods they're using are effective and they're on the right track to integrate their creativity. The system would offer interpersonal rewards where Kathy gives the tutor and student praise for being the most improved. Eccentric motivation will be seen since rewards are given to the most improved tutor and student each month. If tutors continue to be motivated by integrating their ideas and creativity, BTC will succeed in the driven factor. A recognition system is a positive reinforcement because it increases the probability of behavior by following the behavior with a pleasant or desirable consequence. This may vary from person to person since individuals will try their best to be recognized in the most improved award. This motivates tutors and students to increase BTC's productivity while effectively operating a workshop, feedback system, and recognition awards.
So another compelling recommendation for Beyond the Classroom is to host online information sessions for the new students, tutors, and franchisees. These sessions will be demonstrative and interactive in order to provide them with the right amount of guidance. These sessions can also be recorded with their permission and then posted on the Beyond the Classroom website so it's accessible for others and doesn't have to be repeated. This strategy is more effective than hosting the workshops that we discussed earlier because it focuses on actually guiding the organizational members instead of also serving as a communication medium from time to time. Since online tutoring is proven to be just as effective, Beyond the Classroom will have to channel its efforts to mimic its in-person tutoring style in the online sessions to guarantee student placement. The information sessions regarding the online platform can be really short and free to give tutors and students the chance to see and work around lesson space. These sessions should alleviate the issues that tutors are facing of being unable to integrate their skills and techniques in the teaching process, because when they're conducting information sessions with their students, they'll be able to analyze how they learn and then integrate it when they're actually teaching them about something. So therefore, hosting information sessions for new upcoming Beyond the Classroom members will help the tutors incorporate their teaching styles while reducing the stigma against online learning.
So this is a video about messaging systems.
Hey, Nani. So I was starting my first session this week, and I was told it was on message Facebook. I don't know how to use it. Hey, Aksha, Kathy's actually hosting information sessions for newcomers. You can tune in and learn how to navigate lessons based on this. Hey, Nani, thanks for the information session. My first online session of my degree.
The next is about messaging systems.
Hey, did you get the email Kathy sent out?
I don't have my email linked to my phone. It looks like I missed this one.
Hey, Simran, did you read the email Kathy sent out regarding policy changes?
Yeah, thanks to the new messaging system, I was able to see the email just on time. The new messaging system also makes it super convenient for communicating with Kathy, especially about any concerns that I may be having.
The new follow-up system makes it so much easier to communicate with Kathy because it sends me text updates.
And last video is about recognition system.
I got mail. What does it say? Beyond the classroom, Manu Sahota, the most improved tutor. This is what Kathy was talking about. This is now going to motivate you to work even harder.
As you can see, these videos were real-life applications of what would happen if these recommendations were put into place in Beyond the Classroom.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about the implementation. So to implement a messaging system, Kathy must first conduct unfreezing, which is also known as diagnosis. Unfreezing is a realization that the current stage is unsatisfactory and requires some sort of change to improve. Kathy mentioned that many new tutors coming on board prefer to communicate via text, and she wishes to provide opportunities for tutors to provide feedback to the organization. These statements indicate that there is a problem with the current communication system. The next step is change, and this is when the organization looks at new plans and procedures for doing things. Twilio is one of the softwares that Beyond the Classroom can use to set up the new messaging system, since it's cost efficient and favorably reviewed. The prices for sending and receiving through this platform are roughly 0.00075 cents. And then the last step is refreezing. During this step, there is a period of stability where Kathy operates through Twilio, measures the sufficiency, and determines whether she wants to continue using it. It will take the employees a little while to get used to it. However, they will learn it and it will make their communication much easier and more straightforward.
So the first step to implementing a recognition system is gaining insight into which students and tutors improve the most from each teaching facility. This can be achieved by surveying what new materials tutors and students learn each month and how they generated new tutoring ideas. During the Zoom meetings Kathy hosts each month, she should briefly mention the names of those receiving the award from each location to show they improved the most. This session should be kept short so that others are not demotivated from not receiving praise, but sufficient enough that those recognized feel it was worthwhile. Kathy should also create a laminated paper stating Most Improved Tutor Award and Most Improved Student Award for the real prize effect of receiving recognition. Since COVID-19 is an ongoing issue, this reward should be mailed to the tutors and students' homes.
To host an information session, the location, frequency, and coordinators must be first established. The sessions should take place through Lessonspace because it's the online tutoring platform everybody would be using. And then since students, tutors, and franchisees will operate through this, their learning should be interactive to secure the retention of the activities. The Lessonspace has a whiteboard component, video chat, writing, and chat section, which each Beyond the Classroom member should be familiar with in case there's any issues in the future that they might need to address. The frequency of information sessions will be limited to prevent taking up a lot of Beyond the Classroom's time and resources. Rather than hosting a session every time someone gets confused, a session will only be held if the organization has newcomers that are completely brand new to the idea of Lessonspace and online learning. These sessions will be short, roughly 15 minutes, since the platform is not technically advanced, and many resources will be available to address any concerns that may come up.
So in the short term, implementing the recommendations that just have been mentioned will help the organization overcome the current challenges that they're facing. A recognition system will motivate the tutors to work harder and use all of their skills to teach the kids and give them a good learning experience. The messaging system will increase communication between tutors and head office, which will allow the company to grow and improve. And lastly, an information system will make the transition to an online platform easier as the tutors will learn how to use it.
So in the long term, the recommendations will help BTC create a better brand image through the implementation process, and after, tutors and students' performance will be measured to ensure there's no lack of communication. This will also ensure that tutors are utilizing their skills and resources effectively, and there being no discomfort in tutoring online during the ongoing pandemic. To guarantee every implementation is measured and evaluated correctly, Kathy should create monthly surveys of what processes are helping BTC succeed, so in the long run, the organization continues to operate and provide the best experience for the tutors and students.
Beyond the Classroom is a franchise well known for its philosophy to be children-centered rather than following systematic tutoring structures. However, Beyond the Classroom has been forced to adapt to create an online tutoring system to continue business during the COVID-19 pandemic. Within this report, 3 recommendations have been offered to address the concerns effectively and efficiently. Overall, the report analyzes and recommendations will have a significant impact on the organizational culture and proceedings at Beyond the Classroom. Thank you for listening to our presentation.